Hi, I'm William Lecat from France. I'm the national coordinator for the French cybersecurity strategy, as it was just said, and also for the investment program in cybersecurity. And I also happen to be the French representative at the governing board of the European Cybersecurity Competence Center. It is an honor for me to have the occasion of saying a few words in front of you today on the topic of the digital future of Europe. And I would like to start with the following. I strongly believe that at the center of a strong European Union, there is its strategic autonomy. This implies to be able to make choices freely, regardless of what other entities outside of the EU may wish. In the long run, this is a complex but essential ability to maintain. And in the digital world especially, with no apparent borders and always more data and information flowing, relying on ever more advanced technologies, this might seem to be a very difficult challenge, but then even more critical. Obviously, the first thing we may hope for with cybersecurity is protection against the cyber threats that are developing quickly, even as we speak today. Facing this urgency, it is essential to put strategic autonomy at the center of what we should build together. This is, of course, at the core of many topics. To name just a few, we have, for instance, the cloud, for which it is a necessity to be able to provide protection against extraterritorial laws for strategic level use. We also have the 5G, where trust of the equipment and technology is, of course, critical. And there is cybersecurity, a topic on which Europe has been putting a lot of efforts in the past years and has structured in an impressive way. The creation of the European Cybersecurity Competence Center in Bucharest, Romania, is a great achievement and a real proof of maturity in this domain. With this, the EU has showed its will to organize and structure its investments from digital and horizon Europe around the strategic roadmap to guarantee strategic autonomy. Of course, this strategic autonomy must be pursued in multiple ways. First of all, there is an organization point of view. As it was already announced, the new version of the NIS directive is a priority as it will include much broader types of actors. This is indeed a necessity and a necessary evolution due to the fact that with the digitalization of our world, cybersecurity has become a critical concern, not only for a selected few, but for everyone. It also represents a good incentive for EU institutions, bodies, and agencies to secure their own networks and information systems, as they are a key component of our political system. Moreover, over the past few years, we have consented to important capability and community building efforts. We now rely on a strong legislative framework and useful cooperation networks. To go even further, we believe there can be no EU strategic autonomy without a solid solidarity mechanism in place for member states to assist each other in the hypothesis of a major crisis. That's why ANTI, or Cybersecurity Agency, and the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs have announced they plan to organize a high-level discussion involving both the political level and the cybersecurity directors to exchange views on how to respond and react to a cyber crisis situation. It will, of course, have to use the existing toolbox and existing tools such as the CSERT network and Cyclone, but also the EU cyber diplomacy toolbox. Another important aspect of strategic autonomy is about technology and innovation. From a technological and innovation point of view, especially with the Digital Europe program, it seems of the utmost importance that cybersecurity be considered as a major criterion for the selection of projects in any sectors, not just cybersecurity. This must be the application of the secured by design principle, which is the foundation of any efficient cybersecurity. And then, on top of that, we can build cybersecurity capabilities. The first aspect that will likely be addressed by the Digital Europe program in cybersecurity will be about SOCs and detections. With this regard, there is one subject that seems to be central. It is cyber threat intelligence. It is essential to have access to reliable, trusted, and resilient cyber threat intelligence. Building the capacity to produce such data streams seems to be a key factor of success. It's actually an aspect that can be extended to other subjects. The importance of data is key in many topics of our cybersecurity. First of all, machine learning is an important vector of innovation today, and it relies heavily on training sets, which size and quality are of the utmost importance to get a competitive model. And in the end, data is, of course, a wealth, but only if we invest in its capitalization, protection, and valorization to be able, for instance, to build a European cyber threat intelligence capacity. And the last aspect I will discuss with regards to strategic autonomy is support for the growth of European companies, and especially startups. The first thing needed is a unified market to easily support commercial growth and be an alternative to other big markets in the world. It is a bit complex to achieve in cybersecurity because an important aspect of this market is trust. Trust in the vendors and trust in the quality of the products. This may be addressed, at least in some aspects, with certification. Common European certification could be the foundation of the trust needed for this unified market. It means to have the same standards for quality and evaluation for high security products, but also in the future, we hope, at regular levels to address larger markets and even in the end to provide guarantees to the consumers to systematically bring cybersecurity to B2C markets. With this unified market in sight, we hope it will also structure investments for larger rounds, typically 50 million euros and above, which in cybersecurity are very often found outside of Europe today. This would allow the scale-up of many European cybersecurity unicorns, which we all hope for. So to conclude, as the digitalization of our world increases quickly, we see cybersecurity as a priority to guarantee the strategic autonomy of EU, which we believe is a key aspect. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy the rest of the conference.